Valve reposted an exclusive interview with the CS2 dev team, offering deeper insights into CS2. I find this stuff interesting, so I've analyzed the key points in this video. Let's go through them right after our sponsor, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is an automated service that lets you trade skins instantly for a fee. Sign up now and get up to $5 bonus. Simply add items from your inventory, then find skins that matches your current balance. Site offers live support 24/7. You can also top up your balance if you're missing a few dollars, and there's a lot of skins to choose from. Visit my link down below to get to SkinsMonkey. So just the fact that someone is able to grab the devs for an interview is a big deal. Thank you, PC Gamer. Let's start by talking about the release. Based on this interview, Valve admits that the launch was, and still is, bumpy. They even mentioned that there were features that would have been included in CS2 at launch if they had a longer beta. But according to them, the timing of the launch was justified, since the trade-off would have meant less interest in helping out during the beta phase as time goes on. And without everyone playing the same game, they couldn't make much progress on the most critical systems like networking, performance, and core gameplay. On the plus side, they confirmed to be working at high velocity after release, which for a fact we've all seen. Now, rushing the release is something I've been very vocal about, and at the very least, we can all agree that it was an anticlimactic release with no new content or any exciting new features, which Valve previously promised. This aligns even more now with what they're saying in this interview. I still think they pushed it out too aggressively, essentially killing off CSGO, but more importantly, they could have communicated this beforehand, which would have prevented a lot of the complaints we have today. Valve also clarified why CS2 even exists in the first place. It really isn't newsflash by any means, but they clarified that CSGO had technical limitations, but it's nice to see it being said by Valve. And the transition to Source 2 ensures the game's sustainability for the long run, which for them meant rewriting the game on the new engine, and apparently that was a very tedious task. All of this resulted into the name CSGO not being fitting anymore, which resulted in Counter-Strike 2. Additionally, Valve even clarifies in this interview that the goal of Subtick is to ultimately provide a better experience to CSGO 64 or 128 tick servers. In CS2's current state, anyone I've talked to who relied on 128 tick for CSGO thinks that CS2's current gameplay is not on the same level. So in terms of the goal, there's obviously a lot of work to be done, and I hope we'll reach a higher standard soon. Now, they did reveal that another goal of CS2 was to unify the different tick rate groups, which is very good news. Also, CS Stats made a spray comparison with CSGO on a 64 tick server, and Valve was able to confirm that spraying should behave similar to a 128 tick server, which is why the spray is smaller in CS2 when compared to CSGO's 64 tick. Now, the game has some glaring issues, and Valve seems to be aware of them according to the interview, but unfortunately, most questions didn't really focus on the specific issues that we were eagerly waiting for answers on. The good news is, when they see what players do, Valve stated that they changed their views on what to prioritize and how the future might look. As an example, Valve stated in the interview that half of the players' playtime is now on Premier, and they weren't able to predict it being the most popular mode of CS2. Now, this caught me off guard. They introduced an ELO system, official leaderboards. In the same interview, they even talked about CSGO's biggest success being matchmaking, and Premier today is practically matchmaking 2.0. Now, of course, this mostly speaks to the competitive players, but the casual players, obviously being a good chunk of the player base, also have less game modes to play compared to CSGO. What I'm saying is, I am not surprised that Premier would be the star of the show with how the game looks today. But speaking of game modes such as Arms Race and all that, Valve did reply saying that they have plans to reintroduce some of the old game modes and explore other game modes. But right now, they want to focus on delivering a solid core gameplay experience first through what they have now, which makes sense. And when asked about new weapons, Valve made it super clear that yes, they want to introduce new weapons to the game. They did also clarify that with 10 years of CSGO, they've learned some painful lessons about how to properly introduce new weapons without breaking the gameplay. And they even mentioned the new loadout system making new weapons easier to implement because of its design, which was something I addressed, so it feels good having it confirmed. So one of the most underestimating changes to CS2, according to Valve, are the new Source 2 tools, which they believe will be key to all of the community content such as maps and skins. It also seems, according to the interview, that they are more than happy to rely on community maps for the game's future, which is very nice to see. Finally, just like CSGO, CS2's future isn't set in stone. They don't have a specific set vision for the game, but they do have some features down the road that they do want to release. Those were the most interesting bits to me. If you want to read the full thing, I'll link it down below. See you guys soon. Peace.